like it. Who's a man, dog? Come on, wake him up.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to Grid, the Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Brock Eisman, sports psychologist, outdoorsman, and the founder of Off The Gryd Therapy. Let's get after it. Enjoy the show.
Trying to fight a war, but I lose myself. What is living for if I burn in hell?
So you gonna finish your story?
Yeah, so basically, Jesse called me, and I was sitting closest to where you're supposed to board the plane, because I figured that if I was going to sit next to it, I wouldn't have missed my flight. And then we started talking, and I was like, dude, I think I just missed my flight, because we talked for like an hour and a half. And I went up to the lady, and she goes, yeah, they just closed the doors 2 minutes ago. And that was it. I missed my flight because I was talking to Jesse on the phone, and we had a heart-to-heart.
Deep conversations.
Yeah. And then, like, not freaking out, like, because I didn't freak out. I was just like, I called you, and you were like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And then I called one of the worst airlines known to ever, Allegiant. And I was like, hey, you guys, I just missed my flight. Is there any way that you can get me on another flight? And they're like, yeah, no problem. I was like, how much is it going to cost? And they're like, $30. I paid $30, and they got me on another flight an hour and a half later. And it was just one of those things where it's like, hey, thank you for not getting upset and not like playing into whatever the devil was trying to do to me.
Yeah, taking you out of your norm.
Oh, dude, it was so awesome. That was one of those things where it's like, yeah, I should probably have faith in him more, you know.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. All right, so I am super stoked. We have one of my now really good friends and someone that I would call a brother, Jesse Morelos, here on the podcast. I'm going to give him kind of a little origin story here before we jump right into things. And so Jesse is a husband of his high school sweetheart, Talia, father of two young men, Sam and Max. He's a trebleman, which is also referred to as a lineman for a power company for over 20 plus years. He's an incredible leader in his community and someone who I respect and call a very good friend and a brother. He's the guy who will answer the phone call every single time when you need him most. We're honored to have him as our first guest back from our little podcast hiatus. He's been a part of the Off The Gryd community since the beginning. I believe he came on the third trip.
Yeah.
Came on the third trip ever. He came alone, which was the first time he ever had done something like that. And returned with his father-in-law, with both of his sons, and he also brought his brother, Eddie.
Yes.
So he's brought pretty much every single guy in his family. And now he is one of the leaders. He's gone on, I don't know, like 10 trips or something in the past 3 years, something crazy. And he helps facilitate with all the Off The Gryd trips. Like I said, I'm super honored to have him here on the podcast interview. And he also re-recorded earlier today. He's the main character of the docuseries for the YouTube that we filmed. And that's going to be on YouTube. And we are highlighting that one. It's going to be on building a legacy. So that docuseries, you guys will see more of that, but it's going to be like 5 to 10 minute videos throughout the month, highlighting a different guy from the community. And Jesse's the first guy that we chose to do. So with that being said, let's jump into the podcast.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Is there anything you'd like to add to my little...
No, it's actually pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, it's better than I could say it sometimes, right?
Yeah.
I hold myself down sometimes, be like, I ain't that good.
Well, I mean, looking back at everything, like I'm super stoked to even have you sitting here and talking to you. It's awesome. And have you ever done something like this?
No, first time.
Okay, sick. The nerves will go away.
They're going to go away, and it's like in the realm of our world is your first time you buy.
Okay, so I'm buying. Okay, so first thing I want to hit on, and this is obviously in my fashion, like you're going to love me for this, but what are the 3 hardest things that you've ever had to go through? Rip the Band-Aid off. We're just gonna go right for it.
Well, obviously, it took me a minute. On the first trip, I was still learning myself and trying to figure out who I am. It's kind of hard and good at the same time, but no regrets. But struggles I had in my life is alcohol abuse. I dealt with that growing up. Loss, and when I say loss, is family members passing away and being abused when I was young. I think that's the hardest part because I haven't. Besides us, no one knows in my family, right? But like I said, there shouldn't be no secrets. So yeah, those are the 3.
Got you. Can we, if you feel comfortable hitting, can you talk about what with alcohol? Start with that one.
Just.
What time did you start drinking? What age?
I don't know, 12, 13 years old, I think, drinking. And it continued throughout the years. It didn't help out either working for Budweiser, which was a great job, but it was influence, right? A lot easy. I wasn't even 21, and I just could go anywhere. But looking back and going through these camps or groups and Off The Gryd Trips, started peeling the onion, right? Like the Band-Aid off and everything, figuring it out. A lot of that came from my previous trauma, which is being abused. And when I say abused, is I was molested when I was young. So that kind of did a whole turmoil of everything else. And in the process of that, drinking and everything, we lost my mother-in-law. We were young, I think 20, 24. The boys, Max, I think it was a year or 2. Then my dad passed away. And then lost my brother and my mom. The last 5. So it's like, what was my scapegoat was to drink. And then from drinking, getting high, then mushrooms, I don't know, you name it. But trying to figure out life and trying to understand things and realizing now is all that effect where I was at my lowest. In my lowest, I thought I was at my high at the same time, but I wasn't. So those 3 things, I think, affected me negatively, but at the same time has pushed me where I'm at today. Yeah. This kind of sucks, but when I say suck, it's just it's a good thing too, because it's a 50-50. I like just saying it and speaking it today. It's like another weight off my chest. And I'm good with it.
I think one of the hardest things, like, and I'm bringing up like how when you open up like that, like what it does to me, like I want to comfort you. I want to like say something like as a guy, but I know that healing actually happens when you can say something and I'm just here. Like, I just sit here. Like, there's nothing that I can say to any of that.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I've kind of learned too is not holding it in. The biggest part is forgiveness.
Who are you forgiving?
Obviously, the wrongdoings when I was young.
Where does forgiveness come from? We've had this conversation before.
Man, for me right now, it comes from the heart. Because it's not eating me no more, right? So speaking it, talking about it, I'm letting it go. Not let them influence my choices or my feelings. So, like we talked about before too, is like, what do you do when you hold it in? It just eats at you. Yeah. So going to the trips has helped me realize what was eating at me. Not realizing it, right? I thought I was a man. I could figure it out. No one suffers. No one's gone through this. But more and more, we open up as men and be vulnerable at the campground, campfires. You realize you're not alone. I know I'm not the only one that's gone through this.
Yeah, I've seen that on trips too.
But there's, you know what I mean, and also process. It's like the struggles I've had. You look back and you're like, man, that kind of sucks. You know, I think the biggest one on this last trip was everybody knows you're gonna lose a parent, right? Not at a young age when we lost my mother-in-law. She was great. Then my dad. But no one ever talks about losing a brother. And I think that one affected a little bit more and a little bit harder. Because it's even till now, you know, it's like you leave, you keep looking or miss it. You miss something, you forgot something. So like, you know, hey, where's my keys at? It's like, hey, where's my brother? You're never ready for that one. So I think but at the same time, letting go, forgiveness. And that's like when I was at my lowest, also at my highest, because I reconnected back again with God. And that is because, you know, my youngest invited me back to church.
Your youngest son?
Mm-hmm. Nice. He was going to church. Max was going to church. And he's like, hey, you should come. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So like background, you know, my dad, we grew up Seventh-day Adventist. Just crazy.
What is that?
Seventh-day Adventist people, we go to church on Saturdays. The biggest thing. You know, that's the biggest difference. You'd be a Christian church, right? And different prophets you believe in everything. And that's the way my dad was introduced. They were Catholics before I was born, but they converted. And in the hardships that my family was going through, right? I got 3 older siblings, and I thought my dad was a fanatic of church, right? Get upset if I didn't go to church, or why is my dad at church a lot? But looking back now, sitting here, I got 2 younger, you know, my boys. It's like that was his scapegoat, right? We talk about men's mental health. He didn't talk about it, but that's where he went. He spent more time in church. Now I kind of get it. That was kind of him finding God, maybe. I know that's what I do. So I went my ways and thought I could do life without him. When I was at my lowest, I found him, you know.
How old are you now?
43, soon to be 44 in a couple days.
Sick. Okay, I want to, and I feel like, one, you understand who I am, so asking you those questions right off the bat, like that's kind of where I wanted to go. Give you a little bit of background as well. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up here in Bakersfield. Born here. We're in the outskirts of town called Arvin, Lamont, then moved to the east side.
And then Tehachapi?
We moved to Tehachapi. That was when I got a job with the company I'm in now. Like, but we were like in the process of moving to Fresno because that's where my apprenticeship was at, and we thought we were gonna leave up there, but you know, God has His own plans, and we came back. And
yeah, where were your parents from?
Oaxaca. They're from Mexico. Both of them born and raised there.
So mainland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little about Oaxaca. I know you're born here, but still.
I don't know it that well. I know my dad always wanted me to take there, but it's like where he's from a small village, you know, where there's still dialect and everything. My mom's...
Were your siblings, some of them born in Mexico, right?
They were born in Mexico, yeah.
All of them?
3 of them.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Not Eddie?
No, Eddie's born here in the States.
Okay.
And then my mom's was born in the city. So, and that's my dad. So my dad's from the village.
Mexico City?
No, city, Oaxaca City.
Oh, got you.
So we visited here and there. We go out there. They had a place out there, a ranch and everything. It was kind of cool, but it was kind of like away, right? It's like hidden. It's like no man's land, kind of, in a sense.
That's far.
But it's not.
It's far even in Mexico.
Yeah, like the next major town, I think is 3 to 5 hours. So I was like, hey, why don't you buy a place close to the beach? Because Oaxaca borders to the beaches, so in the Pacific side. So, but my dad liked his little property. He had cattle, ranch, you know, ranching and all that stuff. So
why do you think your dad left?
Why he left Mexico?
Yeah.
To come, are you asking like? So he left.
This could be a question you don't even know the answer to.
I don't. So he left. I think. Well, when he was younger, he left to better himself, the family.
Had you met your mom already?
He had. Yeah. They had. It was. Yeah, my mom and then my brother and my sisters, or my sister and my brothers. Yeah.
So they were all born, and then he was like, "We're going to the U.S."
Yeah, he came first here to the States, and then did throughout California, worked in the fields, and then decided to bring everybody, and somehow they ended up and landed in Arvin, which is the southeast town of Bakersfield here.
Got you. And you're happy to be here?
Sure, yeah, I'm grateful to be here, dude.
Your dad did a good thing?
I would say so.
Yeah, that's rad. I mean, I would have never met you.
Right?
Yeah. What about your mom?
She followed my dad, and my relationship with my mom was tough as the years came along, but same thing looking back. Like Talia talks about it. She's like, she understands the mother's love for a kid. You know, we have a different love for our kids as a dad, man to man and all that stuff. And then mom to son is different. And I didn't understand it. Just so recently we talked about it, and we were like, her love was different. And I didn't understand that at first, but our relationship was tough. So you got to understand, like, we came to the States, or my parents did. That's one lifestyle. And then my brother's lifestyle growing in Mexico and then here. Then I'm here. And I'm living I guess you could say, the American dream, the lifestyle. So that's kind of like I ran with it. So a lot of the Mexican traditions, Mexican stuff, like I'm kind of in and it's like a halfies. Because they, the Chicano style, and then you got American style, then you got the Mexican style. So I just said, I'm gonna do Jesse's way. And my way was not like, oh, I don't care about my parents, or my, it was more like, hey, they come first. when I decided to, venture out.
Venture out, what do you mean?
Hmm?
Like go out on your own?
Go on our own, or when I proposed to Talia, we got married. We went out on our own, and that was tough because my mom was not a fanatic of like me leaving, I think, or me getting married, or she made it difficult. Bless her
How
heart.
old are you?
I was 21. Yeah, when we got married.
21. Dang, dude. That's sick. How old was
Right.
she?
Talia?
Yeah.
She was 20 when we got married.
Got you. And when did you have Sam?
The same year.
Same year?
At the end of the year, yeah.
Sick, dude.
So,
Boy raising a boy?
yeah. A boy raising a boy.
Yeah. No, so you had kids really young, obviously.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was tough. It was tough at times because our friends didn't have kids. We're the first ones, so there was not. You know what I mean? They're living the couple's life without kids, and we had kids, and it made it tough on me because like, oh, I could do it too, but then I would go have fun, but I was stuck at home with the kids. It's like I had to kind of realize, okay, hey, I got to figure things out. But you know, what I mean, you look at it today, and you're like, oh man, this is kind of cool. You know, I'm 43. I got a whole life ahead of me, and I get to grow with the kids too as they're involved, entering that journey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and they're two awesome kids too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Why don't you tell a little bit about them?
So Sam's the oldest. Sam's 22, gonna be 22. He tried out college. College wasn't for him. He works for my in-laws right now and started jiu-jitsu. And he's been kicking butt in jiu-jitsu. No-gi style, so. And then Max is 19. He's right now in Oklahoma University, and he's part of the men's gymnastics team. So that's just super stoked. We just got back there from last week. We were visiting them, getting them ready to move and all that from the dorms. They had to get out of the dorms to a house or room, whatever. So,
dude, that's so rad.
It is, dude. Just to look back and like you said, boys raising boys, and now it's like they're not boys, they're men. And then look at myself, it's like, oh. Like I said to Talia, she's done a great job. She's like, no, we done a great job.
I am super inspired by how you lead your wife, by how you lead your boys, and honestly how you lead on the trips like other men. Where did you learn that leadership? How did you learn how to lead?
Dude,
or who did you learn it from?
From my dad.
Your dad?
From my dad. It's just almost like everybody you talk to love my dad and the way he took ownership of stuff and moved forward. If we didn't know, we figure it out. Big thing is his work ethics, right? So all that being said, it's like just I learned all that from him. I didn't get it from someone else. It was him. So, and then as now myself is like leading, it's got to be leading by example, right? So that's my biggest thing is like, oh, if I'm going to say I'm going to do it, I got to do it. Or tell someone, hey, you need to do this. Well, make sure I've been doing it, not just say it and not do it.
I think that, a good word for that is integrity. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that word?
Sometimes I feel like I don't have it or I fail at it. Sometimes we're our worst enemies. Like, oh man, I should have done better here. I should have done this. Even today, or not today, but like in this age, I was like, man, I wish I would have done this. But then at the same time, it's like, well, if I would have done that, I would have been doing this. So I sell myself short sometimes. But if you see that, and if that's another word, that's kind of cool too, because that means I'm hitting some markers I didn't even realize that I was hitting.
Do you think that that's like for striving, like on that aspect? Do you think that that's why you do that? Why you kind of lower the bar to be like, I don't think I can do stuff like this? It kind of pushes you.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, and if I haven't done it, again, leading by example, like doing this, putting myself out there, out of my norm, out of my comfort.
Yeah.
It's how else can you show someone else or tell your story if you don't say it?
Don't put yourself out there.
Don't put yourself out there.
Do something hard.
Yeah.
Do something uncomfortable. Yeah, and this is uncomfortable, right?
It's
just you and I sitting.
Yeah, it is.
Talking,
Yeah, but it's one thing talking, and then the other thing too is like you're putting it out there, right, in the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
But it's good though, because like that's how I've learned from other podcasts, from other people, the struggles they've gone through, and that's like one of the biggest things for me that's helped me in my journey is other men speaking about what the struggles they've had, and going on trips like this.
Yeah, something that I feel like is missing, like in that podcast realm, right? Like that world is like the guys who are like even like yourself, where it's you don't have like this crazy amount of like, oh, I have this many businesses and I run these 500-mile runs, and like you're a guy who works a job that you've worked for the past 20 plus years. But you are rich, extremely rich, with your family, like with the things that actually matter. And that's what I mean by like rich, right?
Yeah.
And I want to highlight that aspect of like there are people walking around every single day that like we're aspiring, and we listen to all these people talk, and we listen to all these really, like I would say, influential people, that there's way more people like us, like you, to be able to understand that that's what life is all about. You know, like going through really gnarly, hard, bad things, but then at some point, like there's a decision to be made on like what is the purpose of what I'm doing, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, do I want, and from what I've heard of, and we can tap into this a little bit, but like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like you thought it was like, I'm going to get this, I'm going to have this. I want the trailers, I want the motorhomes, I want the trucks, I want the toys, I want all that stuff. And like, you're rich now and you understand that. Like, that was not rich.
Yeah,
right?
It was rich on the outside, but not on the inside, right? And like we talked about earlier, like Talia asked, like, was it going to be enough? I had everything that I didn't have everything in the sense like the toys, the gadgets, and all that, but I had a roof, I was fed, I was happy. But so when I wanted it, I think it was a Xbox or something, I went and bought it because I had the money, I could go get it. I wanted it, I bought it, and it just piled up. And Talia said one day, when's it going to be enough? And it made me realize, like, oh, okay.
What an awesome wife you had to say that.
Oh, dude. She's a blessing. I honestly don't think I would be here if it wasn't for her encouragement.
How does someone find a wife like Talia?
God put her in my life. You know what I mean? Because how else can you not give God the grace and be grateful? Because, you know, it wasn't a perfect life. Yeah, we did things. I did things, but she was always there. You know, in this journey of mine, the last 4 years, she's like, hey, you can't just have one or two drinks. Like, you can't drink. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? I'm doing good. But then I didn't realize, like, I was blacking out, not realizing. So, yeah, man, that's where I started. Signing up. Figuring out I can't do this alone. In that aspect, I don't even think I knew that at that time. I just knew I had to do some changes. Right? I was 39 years old, 30, right there. And I went and did my annual physical and all that. I have a class A for driving. So then the doc comes in and like all these things, right? I'm overweight, cholesterol, diabetes, prone diabetes. My heart, blood pressure was high. And they're like, hey, we're going to put you on these medicines. This, that, that. I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm too young. I'm not even 40 years old. So then I just like, all right, let's start looking into different things. And I did. I started changing like the way I was eating and going right back to the old habits. You know, I tell my wife, like, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. She was okay. Just waiting for me to fail again. And then my buddy and her sent me the reel from Off The Gryd. She's like, hey, this is something you might like. It's like, okay, this is kind of up my alley.
I remember your phone call to me. I think I was sitting over in Dana Point, my feet in the pool, and I was like, I got this call with this guy named Jesse. I'm going to see what he's about, because I don't know if you knew this, but we like accept applications. When we're accepting the application, I was like, I'm going to call him, see what he's about. And you were telling me you were nervous, like everyone in your family is like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? Like, what are you going to go and do? You're going to be with a bunch of guys. And you were like, yeah, you know what? I just need to go do it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. And then you started telling me about chicken thighs and about how to make chicken thighs. And I was like, dude, this guy's sick. Yeah.
Yeah, probably I was there having a cold one or something.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I had no clue. I didn't even know where you were from. You were saying, where were you living at the time?
Harflat, 45 minutes east of Bakersfield in the mountains.
Yeah. No, that's so funny. I think that when I originally was talking to you, I didn't know because you didn't really express to me. Obviously, we didn't know each other, but you didn't like open up to me at all. It was more just like I'm just excited to go on the trip. And I was like, this is one of those like 50-50s. Like is this going to be a really good trip for this guy? And that's why, I mean, with the application process, like I accept everybody because you never know. Like you get them out there, and then all of a sudden, things pour out, and it's like, wow, this guy really needed to go.
Yeah, it was. I would say that's like step 2. Finding myself.
Yeah.
You ask yourself, what's your role? It's like, what? And at the time, Sam was just leaving the college too. So it's like, man, there was all kinds of changes.
Yeah.
Right? As a leader, like you said, it's my role as a parent was changing, and I didn't realize that. So instead of parenting, I was being more of a guidance. Right? Because they're coming at the age where like, hey, they're 18. They start making dumb choices. I can't. They have to live through the trials, but I can't, even though I could tell them, be like, dude, this is dumb. I've done this already. Don't do it. I can't pull them back. I can't scold them. I can't ground them. I can, but then what is it going to do? It's just going to be like create a fight. And so that was kind of hard to figure that out. And I think like it opened up my eyes to certain things like, okay, hey, there's things, but also it started opening up more and realizing, oh, there's more, which was good too, because then look where I'm at today,
Yeah, and I mean this kind of ties into the legacy aspect, right? So what do you think about the word legacy? Like, what does that mean to you, to Jesse?
To Jesse, what's it mean?
Legacy.
So I said it earlier, and I was just like, that I was there. I was there for my family, but also be the change. You have to be the change. No one else could do it for you. How do you change legacy, or how do you change your past? It's being the change, choosing. to do the good, the hard, do good. Do you want to go for a run? No, but I know it's going to help me out. And I think that's when, one of the groups you invited me to was 75 Hard. I was like, I wanted to quit. But I was like, I'm not quitting. I was day 30, I think, or 31, and I seen some guys already drop, and I was like, man. But it's like, then you have to start all over. It's like, I'm already at day 31. I'm almost halfway. So then a blessing in disguise, because it pushed me to more than I even thought that it would.
Yeah. What do you think your sons think that your legacy is? What do you think your wife thinks that your legacy is? Not what you want it to be. If you could step into their shoes, like, what do you think that they would say, my dad?
I think the boys would say that I'm a good father and a friend. The wife would say I'm a good husband and a friend, right? We grew up together too, right? I think that's one thing.
High school sweethearts.
High school sweethearts. That's the thing my father-in-law told me. He's like, are you going to be able to last? Same person. We're young. But who else to grow old with and learn and go through the trials? I was raising boys. She was raising me. We were raising each other. So it's like, man. So I honestly, I hope they could say that I was there for them. I'd say they would say that.
I would say, knowing you for the short amount of time that we have in comparison to life, it's like you really are that guy. Like, if you live out here, if I was to call you, you would drive to South Orange County to go and help me with my flat tire. Like, you would do that. And when you talk about, like, guys, and I always really kind of relate this to my relationships, like, who would you go to battle with? Like, who would you sit there in a bunker with?
Yeah.
Like, for sure you'd be one of those guys.
That's cool.
And there's not many people that you can, like, actually say that about.
No.
And a friendship like that, like, that's legacy enough for me, like, to be able to be the person when you're called upon to be there. And let me reiterate that was your answer in the docuseries earlier today, but you didn't really explain it here. But, like, to be there, to be here right now, that is what you want your legacy to be. It's like, I want to be right here.
Yeah.
Like, if anyone needs you, I'm there. And the stress that takes on, and, like, the suffering and whatever, like, there's a lot that's tailored to that. And I'm just like, I am extremely proud of you, like, for being that guy for so many years. But now you're probably a lot more effective over the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Sometimes you wonder, like, what I'm doing, is it right or not? But when you hear it from the boys in small conversations, like, it's like every day we hear from the boys, whether it be text or call. Every day. That's pretty cool, man. I like that. You mentioned earlier about the riches. I was like, that's rich right there, dude. Like, that's enough for me. A text, hey, Dad, how's it going? Hey, I love you. Love you too. Like, I'm good. It's almost like I did my part.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Just one text, you run through a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like, one text could change the course of your day. We talked about that before. Doing my second 75 hard. All these emotions when Max got accepted to Oklahoma, and I didn't. I get teared up because I was happy to share it with my in-laws, but I couldn't share it with my parents. And I wanted to just like, I'm gonna grab a drink, soothe, you know what I mean, soothe. And I was 75 hard. I was halfway through it, and then one of the guys, Jeff, texted in the chat, just today. I looked at that and I was like, just today. I just like, yeah, just today. So for my outside exercise,
Just a day?
just today. That's all he texted. So just today's gonna suck, right? That emotion, that feeling, that hate, going through it. Stoked for Max, stoked for Talia. You know, everybody sharing. But it's just a day for that feeling because that's the way I felt. So I went outside and my outside exercise was burpees. So I was just like, it took me 45 minutes to do my burpees. It sucked. I didn't want to do it, but it just like, man, it changed my whole looking at things. Is it gonna suck? Yeah. Does it suck some days? Like, you know, moments like when we dropped off Max. I can't share that with them. Does it suck? Yeah, but you know what? It's okay. It's learning how to cope with it and talking about it and realizing, hey, don't hold it in. You know?
Yeah, I kind of want to shift a little bit because this is something that gets brought up, and you and I have talked about it. We've been in circles where, like, the culture that you grew up in, because we're talking about talking as a guy, like it's something interesting. Like on our trips, like that's why it's even a thing, like why it works. When you're sitting in a fire and you're staring at a fire, you can talk to the fire with 10 or 12 guys that you don't know. Like that's a really cool thing. But growing up in a Latino family and that Latino culture, like how hard was it to talk, how to deal with mental health growing up in the Latino culture as a man?
It wasn't talked about. You know what I mean? My dad didn't talk much. It was towards the later years when he starts saying I love you. But it was hard. You kind of suck it up, buttercup deal. You got issues. Get a tissue, you know? It's like it was tough love. You know what I mean? And I'm not scarred by it in the sense of like, oh, they didn't tell me I love you. No, it was just like that's the way they were brought up, right? So even I was just talking to another friend, I was like, it took me a minute to tell the boys I love them. It felt weird. It felt weird because I didn't hear it. But when I said it, it felt good. And they said, I love you too, Dad. When they're little, you know. And now it's like anything. It's like, yeah, I love you, dude, love you. And it's not just, it's a gratitude because you get to share something with someone, with anybody, right? We make all types of connections. But being in the Latino family, it's not. Mental health is like, nah, you're weak. You know what I mean? There's different types of conversations had, and if it is, a lot of it is dealt with drinking. That's how you kind of get away with, but nothing's really said. Now, don't get me wrong. Like if you're gonna have a couple beers, that's cool, but it's never a couple beers for certain individuals. I was one of those.
It's 15.
It was still like the bottle was gone. Yeah. Or, hey, go have another case. Yeah. You know? You wake up in the morning and keep trucking at it. So, you know, like, my dad, prior to him passing, one of the stories that I remember right before was he came and helped me out doing some yard work at the house, and he's like, hey, mijo. I go, yeah, what's up? He's all, just want to tell you, like, you did all right. I'm proud of you. He goes, you know, we're going to leave. Your kids are going to leave. Your wife's. He goes, and have God. Yes, that's the way it's supposed to be. And you did that from the start. So that's what I did. You know what I mean? So I would say I changed or broke that stronghold of communicating with the kids, showing them emotion, love. That's okay. But it's not to dwell on it, right? Every day. So
Almost like there's a blend that you've learned.
yeah.
Like how to work hard, how to be able to push through suffering, adversity. Like I think about that all the time being a dad, like letting your kid, the people that you love, like suffer a little bit. Almost like intentional suffering.
Yeah.
To a point, you know. But then how do you cope with that? Like watching your kid cope with it with drugs or alcohol or unhealthy habits, bad relationships, like at what point can you step in and be like, yo, like this is not just how to do it, you know? Like this is how I do it. Like you brought up something within me where you know this from the father-son trip, but my dad actually came on the father-son trip and that was such a weird thing. But like my brother who's younger than me is over here like saying, hey, Dad, why don't you say I love you? And I'm over here like, I don't need my dad to say he loves me. Like I know that he loves me through his actions, and my dad's looking at my brother going like, I don't need to say I love you. Like you know I love you. And it's just like the type of child that you have, you know, like you can't just have this one way of being a mentor or a father or like leading. Like it's a true leader like adapts to totally different personality types to be able to push them and make them excel and perform at their absolute best. And I think like a role as a leader, like, and maybe what you're learning is like you don't have to do it this one way. Like the way that my dad taught me is
not the only way.
It's not the only way. Not that it's a bad way. Like obviously there's a lot of really bad fathers out there, you know? But I think that like understanding your weaknesses as a father, like I think that is crucial, you know? Like in obviously one of my father's weaknesses is not adapting to one of his child's personality types, you know?
Yeah.
And yes, he does love my brother, and he did say it that night. It took him an hour of every single man across the circle to be like, "Yo, just tell him you love him." Like,
yeah.
But like for me, I didn't need that, you know. And I think that being able to read that is really important, especially when you're leading, you know, like especially as you're the provider, like to be able to figure that part out. And for the dads out there, like I want them to understand, like leadership looks different, like especially with your children, your coworkers, like even your wife, like it's got to look different, and it changes throughout seasons of your life too. It's like you once you figure it out, like I hope that you haven't figured it out, you're just still trying to figure it out, you know, still striving, you know. But it's like being that leader of the household, leaving that legacy is going to demand constant changes throughout your life. Constant changes. But as long as you are here today, you show up today, you know, like you show up, you keep being like, okay, no, like I will be there for you. Maybe not to say the right words, but I will be there for you, you know?
Yeah. And it's also understanding. So like you said, like if you're able to, a tool has its purpose, one tool, and you can use that tool 20 different ways. Well, it's the same way with the kids in your family, right? It took me a minute to understand that, right? So it's like you said, like talking to the kids, figuring it out with the wife. I think having the honest conversation and realizing it, right? Like when you asked me about my 3 struggles or 3 adversities I've had in my life. Yeah, first time sharing it on a podcast besides the fire. But I had that conversation with my kids and my wife. Like
it's so hard.
It was hard, but it's one of those that I had to do. Because how can you be the change and lead by example if you're not being upfront? Yeah. Right? We talked about the self-reflection. Like, that's self-reflecting. Like, I had to do that. Did I want to? No. But I know I had to, because then I'm also passing the torch, like you mentioned it one day, because I was telling you, like, hey, I got to tell him. And one day I'm going to have these conversations with my brothers and sisters. They don't know, but I'm going to have it with them. I'm willing, I'll talk to them, but it happened. You can't change anything. You know what I mean? It is what it is in that aspect. But we have to be willing to move in the way that it goes, right? The way you have to be able to be adapting to every day. She might be going through a hard day. He might be having a hard time. I might be having a great day. So then you meet in the middle. You gotta be able to listen. That's my biggest.
I sometimes listen too much. I mean, when you really look at it, though, like, bro, listening is everything, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like, what's the right thing to say right now? What's the perfect thing to say right now? Like, it's not.
Sometimes it's just...
You got 2 ears, 1 mouth, bro.
Yeah.
You
Especially
know?
just staying quiet.
Yeah. Listen twice, speak once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think that you will find a lot more impact, too, by learning how to listen well. Have you ever heard of, like, an active listener?
No.
Like, it often happens when they don't really have any good words to say, but more so every single word that comes out of your mouth, I'm just going to repeat the first couple words. I'll be like, yeah. You know? Like, if you have to revert to that, like, do your best. Like, as a guy, sometimes I sit down with my wife on the couch and she's telling me stuff, and I'm just like, active listening.
Active listening,
yeah.
but not listening.
No. It's listening. It's listening because you reinforce it in your brain. You're like, yeah, I know what she's saying, and I'm going to repeat it, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what you're doing, right? The whole thing is like you're trying to do better. And if that's what it takes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Let's go back to legacy a little bit. And this isn't directly on legacy, but I want to know, what fear as a father do you carry that you don't often talk about?
So,
what fear as a father do you often carry, or do you carry that you don't often talk about?
So that for a moment I was like, was I being enough? And was I providing enough? By having the conversations, honest with the family, like, there's no fear that I carry now, because they're carrying it with me. Like, I talk to them every day if I'm having a struggle, or hey, am I doing, like, a check-in with them, you know, hey, am I doing all right? Kind of like when I first started this journey, Ty said it best, is like, this is cool, you're reading books, listening podcasts, but what good does it do if you're not listening? I was like, well, I'm doing this, doing that, but I wasn't listening, like he said. So then, okay, so I look back and try to figure out, am I doing the right thing? I don't keep asking myself. So the fear is not there because I'm asking. Like, there's nothing to fear. If that makes sense. It's kind of hard.
I mean, it's a tough question for you, because you're going through this process of, like, doing the work on yourself over the past 5 years, you know? Think about it, and I think that this is perspective, because you're coming out of being able to tell your wife and your 2 sons and the people who matter the absolute most to you. Like, if you were not to have told any of that to them, that would probably be the answer to this question.
It would be.
It'd be the 3 things that we opened up this podcast with.
Yeah.
I just like to be able to now sit here and be like, because this is what I'm getting from you, I don't have any fears, you know? And I think you and I, we talked about that, I think, even last night. Like,
yeah.
Dude, I'm not afraid of anything. Like,
I'm not. And I think that's a big realm has been my spiritual growth.
Yeah.
I seek him every day. And if I don't know the answers, I pray about it, and I ask him, like, hey, put the right people in my path. Light my path. And he has, dude, like, you guys came into my life, like it's been amazing. The people in this group has been amazing. And was there fear? Yeah, like you said, there was. The fear of not being enough. But now as I look back and I'm looking and you're asking, it's like, I am enough. So what is there to fear? You know what I mean? My wife knows what the struggles I go through. My kids know.
The weight off your back, dude.
It's off, dude. Like that's just, it's insane to like.
And to not think that there's going to be weight in the future.
There's
right?
going to be weight. There's going to be concerns, but not fear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you're going to talk to them about it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. You know, you know what I mean. Like we're worried about when Max is going off to college.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest thing was coming to learn and understand faith, trust, and His timing. You get those three things, man. It's like, okay, does it suck today? Does it like, yeah, we're going to go through struggles. Not saying it's not. We're not going to go through struggles, right? But it's like you can't fear if you don't know. And if you got an idea of what's coming, then you're like, okay, we'll tackle it when it gets here. Can't worry about tomorrow. Worry about today.
And if you did know, would that mean what?
I don't know. Tell me. I always get it confused.
I mean, you would be God.
Oh, that is true.
Right? If you knew. If you knew everything. Like.
Yeah, why would you need Him? Why would you seek Him?
And I think that there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
They think that they know.
They know.
Yeah.
And that's a tough one because, like, you know, and that's even learning more about Him. It's like, I don't know it. I choose to read the devotions every day with my wife. We choose to go to church or listen to, you know what I mean, sermons online if we can't make it. But it's the same thing, choosing to be better. And with Him in the forefront.
I mean, to me, and I brought this up the other night talking to somebody, but I think that a lot of the problems that we have, like you could figure out, like knowledge is great, you know, like we're all striving to have wisdom, but what's the saying? Told you get, the wiser you get, right?
Yeah.
More wisdom.
More wisdom.
And the more wisdom that you gain, the realization of like the less knowledge that you actually have.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really know, and I think that in a place of if I could sit there, because I have, like with an 18-year-old boy who's trying to become a man, is at our fingertips we have ChatGPT, we got the internet, we got all these AI things to where if we don't know, we can find out in an instant, right?
Yeah.
That's not how life works.
Correct.
We have to we can't just like figure it out in an instant. When something really bad happens, when stuff hits the fan, like we have to be able to be comfortable with not knowing what to do next and still taking that step forward.
Doing the hard things.
And that's where I think your faith steps into place, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because not knowing demands what?
Faith.
Taking a step demands faith. You know? And like the mental, the physical, the spiritual, like all of those, if you're missing one, you're missing all of them.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like you have to surround yourself with like-minded men.
Absolutely. And not even, I mean, like-minded men, yes, but like you don't have to like think the exact same way.
Correct.
Like and especially what I love about these trips is you don't have to like agnostic, atheist, Muslim, like we get everybody on these trips. Mormon, got a Mormon guy on every trip. You realize it quickly that when you're out there, it's like, nah, dog, we're not sitting here and everything that you're trying to figure out about life, like I struggle, you struggle, we all struggle.
Yeah, we're all going through struggles.
Absolutely. And what I believe, like if anything, that should strengthen what I believe.
Yeah.
Like don't be super just like safe in your little bubble and what you believe, and go out there and like that's strengthened me in what I believe and my faith in God, like absolutely. by just listening to all these different people and being like, okay, I'm being challenged right now. Like, this is challenging my way of thinking. Like, every guy needs to go through that.
Yeah. And I agree with that, because like I think every trip I've taken, and that's it, you gain something. You lose something in a sense, like, hey, you're not holding it. You're letting go of something else, right?
Yeah.
And you're strengthening your foundation that there is something bigger out there. And
that puts your faith to the test.
Yeah, it does, 100%. This right here is putting my faith to the test, right?
Yeah.
Because it's having the uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
As men that we don't have.
And we'll probably have a lot more uncomfortable conversations. I think this is going to be the first podcast for you. We could probably talk for hours.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Get comfortable when you get talking.
Yeah, and that docuseries is going to be sick, too, to look back at. Okay, I'm going to finish and wrap this up with one final question. Okay?
All right.
And you don't know the question, obviously, so better answer it good. Right?
Better. Do I get one shot? It's like I'm taking the test
This
again.
is your final at bat, dude. Okay, so if you were to die tomorrow, what do you want to be remembered for? What legacy would you leave?
Haha.
If you were to die tomorrow, what would you want to be remembered for? What legacy would you leave?
Answered it. I was there. I said it a couple years ago. I don't know why but that right there, that I was there.
Beautiful.
It's honest truth. You know what I mean? Like the riches we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to
Nothing else matters.
No.
Dude, I'm so happy that we got to do this.
Thanks, man.
You're probably so happy it's over.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, I like sitting in here and thinking and sitting in this room and just talking to you. I've heard your story 14 times, right? I'm so proud of you, and I think that's why I'm so beyond honored to have you as the first guy that we interview, the first guy that we do a docuseries on. Like I don't know what to say other than showing you with my action that like that's how proud of you I am, and like I know your boys are, I know your wife is. Like I'm just beyond blessed to know you.
Right? Dude, it goes likewise. Like I wouldn't be here, right? Just if like I said before, we could finish with this, but I was walking around 250, right? And I showed you the picture. Now, I lost 50 pounds. And your text back was like, not trying to be rude, but would you be here today? If I wouldn't have made that change? If I wouldn't have signed up? Right? That's where my mind went. So thank you. And it's a blessing because God put people in my path for a reason. And you're one of them.
Okay, well, nothing left to say for that. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
This episode is brought to you by Mahogany Smoked Meats. Ever since I was a kid, my dad and I would always stop Mahogany Smoked Meats before whatever adventure we were headed on, grabbing beef jerky and sandwiches for the road. Now, years later, it's so rad seeing Mahogany become part of the Off The Gryd Trips. They've been family-owned since 1922 out of Bishop, California, still doing things the old-fashioned way. You can genuinely taste the difference. Go support the businesses that still believe in quality, tradition, and bringing good people together. Mahogany Smoked Meats.